These are the Arctic Archives. I'm Josh Federico. Today I'm joined by Stephan Krueger, a Delta Junction resident and outdoorsman. In this episode, we talk about his hunt for muskox on Nelson Island a few years ago and the various complications he encountered along the way. Here's my conversation with Stephan. So muskox.
So, this takes place in, I think, 2023. Me, my friend, and my dad decided we were going to go hunt muskox on the west coast. A lot of logistics. So we had our snow machines, flown out to Bethel. We flew out to Bethel. It's the hub of the area. And where we were going to hunt was about 140 miles from there.
You had them flow out like ahead of time?
Yeah.
Or was that when you guys went out?
Pretty much when we went.
Gotcha.
We took them to Anchorage and gave them to Everett, and then I think the next day we flew. And they got to the other side, along with a lot of gear. We got to Bethel, and it was just shit weather, windy, whatever, nasty. So we got weathered out for a few days. So that meant we stayed in Bethel for a few days, which was frustrating because we all wanted to get out and go.
Yeah.
Also expensive because like every night out there was another $200, $300 for an Airbnb.
Yeah, I read that on like there was these forums I was poking around where people did like the same hunt and the same thing happened. They just like got out there and then ended up killing time for like 4 days and they had like a 7-day hunt.
Yeah.
And then like the last second the weather cleared up.
Yep, it's big weather out there. So then we went, we finally launched, and that was the coldest day of the whole trip. I think it was 10 or 15 below most of the day, and a decent breeze. Pretty mind-numbing wind on that long ride. So we made it out to where we wanted to hunt in a day. All three of us had Skidoo Tundras. Me and my dad had 4-strokes. My buddy had a Tundra Extreme, which is the stupidest machine ever built. More on that later.
Those are 600s, aren't they? The Tundras?
600 Ace is what the 4-strokes, and then I think his was a 600 E-Tech engine.
Gotcha.
Truly stupid design. They're like, oh, let's take this high output engine and put it in a narrow, like, utility machine. And you'll get the best of both worlds.
Right.
And you wind up getting the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
It's just a stupid, terrible idea.
I haven't driven those. I've seen them for like 2-seaters. They look like something for like getting around the place or something, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. So anyhow, we got out to the island, made camp. We had a 6-man tent and a buddy heater, and the three of us packed in there in a magical way. Me and my dad on our 2 low cots, and then my buddy on his high cot, and our feet were tucked under him, and between us was the buddy heater, and it was all just some special way. And it was like 20 below that night. Pretty cold, but coming out of the interior, nothing bad, livable. Well, that next day we got up and went into the local village, and my buddy had been told that if, things get shitty out there, what people normally do is to go into town and they'll let you sleep in the school. Is pretty typical in a village.
Gotcha.
Or somewhere, they're not going to let you die.
Yeah, so you get out of the weather.
Yeah. So we went into town and found out sleeping in the school wasn't going to be an option. But talked to a guy, he said, yeah, if it shit hits the fan, you can stay in the town hall here.
Oh, nice.
Guy named Robert, nice man.
So how far from, like, where you guys were camping to the town? Is that a long ride or not bad?
A few miles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was kind of off a bay of the Bering Sea,
Gotcha.
the ocean. Inland half a mile and kind of next to this bluff that wasn't super tall, but gave us a little bit of windbreak from that direction. So with that backup plan, we were good. I tooled around town a little bit, just got acquainted with the area, and I think, yeah, that night, spent another night in the tent, and started checking the weather. Everything says big winds coming, gusts up to 60, just gnarly stuff coming in off the ocean as it does in that chunk of the world.
Right. Were you guys on a time frame? You guys had to get back to work within a few days, or was it pretty flexible? The way you were doing it?
We had a couple weeks to play.
Gotcha. Okay, nice.
Or maybe like 10 days to play.
Yeah. So you weren't like too worried about time.
But that includes the couple days we already lost in Bethel, and logistics on both ends. Getting all our shit back to Anchorage, and then the drive from Anchorage home. So we weren't super pressed on time, but we weren't looking to waste time.
Right.
All three of us had tags, bull tags. All three of us wanted to get a bull. On the way in, we saw no animals, maybe a fox or something. So with the big storm pending and about to wreak havoc, we went back into town, said, hey, is it like this storm's coming in and we really don't want to be out in a little tent? Can we stay in the town hall? He's like, yeah, go pack up your camp and come on in here. So we did. We broke camp and stashed some stuff, gas and whatever, at our campsite. As we were cleaning up, me and my buddy were unstaking the tent. We were gonna fold that up, and then he walked off and started picking up some trash and doing something else. And then I saw something, and I started going off and doing that. And suddenly the tent was unstaked, and 3 grown men were suddenly distracted and doing something else, and turn around, and the tent blows up over the bluff, headed west, and I hopped on my machine and tried to run it down. Couldn't get up the bluff very well. By the time I did, the tent was gone.
Holy cow. West towards the ocean.
Yep, right in the ocean.
You lost it?
Yep.
Oh.
Gone forever.
Anything in it?
No.
No, just the tent itself. Whose was it, though?
My dad's.
Your dad's?
Yeah.
Dang. Was he pretty upset, or just
no?
Is what it
Not
is?
really. It was a cheap tent.
Gotcha.
But we had a backup tent, a 4-man, which meant we don't get any cots or heater. So.
Because they didn't fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But
no
that
heater.
comes in later. We went into town and we were weathered in there for, I want to say like 3 nights, maybe 4. Probably 3.
How do you pass time in town hall?
Played a lot of cards.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
And talked to the locals. They had bingo night and pull tabs.
Okay.
Random people moving through town hall, and
Nice.
it was really cool.
I was gonna say that actually sounds kind of fun.
The people of the West Coast are some of the coolest, happiest people I've ever met.
That's awesome.
Out smoking a cigarette on the street corner and guy pulls up in a snow machine and just starts talking to you.
Like he knows you.
Yeah, just like, you could see the front of my machine got kind of beat up because I rolled it the other day because of this. Just like, just nice, happy people.
That's funny.
I love it. So spent a few nights there. Finally got back out to the tent. Set up the small tent. So we were in the cold, which is fine. It wasn't that cold. It was mostly above zero, or all above zero from there on out. Windy here and there, but nothing miserable.
Set up in the same spot though.
Yep.
Like below that bluff.
Yep.
Gotcha.
During that storm, there was some rain and just hellish winds. So the main trail road that people take snow machines on between the two villages on that coast, it ran across sea ice, and the sea ice was like a foot of overflow on top of it. So it was gnarly and it was kind of gross. But we were in the village, talked to a lot of people about where to find muskox, and they said, there's normally some to the east on the island. You can go check out there. If not, there's almost always some herds hanging out on the west side of the island. Just be careful over there because it gets really rough and those bluffs fall down into the ocean.
Gotcha.
You don't want to get caught on those ledges. So we had drawn to see who shoots first. My dad shoots first. So we head out east of town and go through the village east of town and keep going east and start spotting around, and we see some muskox on a hill, I don't know, 5 miles away. And my buddy looks at them through binos for like 20 seconds, said, "Yep, they're bulls, we're going." And me and my dad are still catching up to him on the machines, and okay. So we make our way out there, pretty slow ride, and get up on this hilltop, and we pull up, I don't know, half a mile from the group of 8 muskox, 6 or 8.
Do you got to work pretty hard to not be seen by them, or is it you kind of walk up to them?
It varies. They're not crazy skittish.
Gotcha.
So where we stopped there, half a mile from them, we were in view of the herd. And my dad and my buddy said, "All right, we're gonna sneak around the back of this hill and come up, good wind, behind them." So I sat a half mile from this herd while they did this, and it was a pretty cool experience for me. I sat there smoking a cigarette, and eating some gummies I bought in town.
Staring at a herd of muskox.
Yeah, just watching the muskox. It was a beautiful day, like calm winds.
That's awesome.
A bush plane comes in like at eye level with us, buzzes by, and there's just like flocks of hundreds of ptarmigan kicking off freaking all over.
Alaska in one picture.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there watching like, man, this is really
awesome.
beautiful scene. And felt like a really long time. They finally get up. I hear a shot go off. I'm like, oh, cool. And I make my way up to them, and there's a bull down. My buddy was the one that shot, so the shooting order was supposed to be my dad, my buddy, then me. The they got up there. My dad said he wasn't sure. He wanted to shoot one of those, so my buddy shot. And he was all excited and impatient, and this big bull was just laying down, doing nothing, with his head straight at him. And my buddy's all jumpy and excited, and I'm gonna shoot it in the head. And my dad's like, no, just like wait. And you know, it stands up and it's pecking at brush and scratching its horns at shit. Still just straight at him, giving him no shot.
And he just wants to shoot in the head.
He's losing his mind. Yeah. And he's like, I'll shoot it just below the nose. And my dad's like, no, just wait. Like, he's gonna turn.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's here.
Like, he's gonna turn at some point. It might take a minute. It might take 20 minutes, but like,
he's not gonna vaporize and
yeah,
his shot's gone.
He's not just gonna disappear.
Right.
And they were sitting, I think, like 50 yards from him.
Oh dang.
Yeah, so they're just sitting there, and the cows are kind of just moseying around, not pressured or anything. So he finally gets a shot, kills it. I pull up, we roll it into his sled, and head back to camp instead of going down to the village and along the road, the trails between villages.
Oh yeah.
Since that was all overflow and nasty, we were like, all right, we're going to take a better path up through the mountains to get back to camp. My buddy had a GPS, so we're just following him. And
the muskox quartered, or you just gutted it, rolled it in,
didn't
the whole thing?
Just rolled the whole animal.
Okay, yeah, so that's something I've heard like multiple times. They're not as big as you'd think they would be. So I haven't actually been up and seen any yet, but you look at them, it seems like they should be like these big, large cows types things.
So I think a big bull is normally like an 800-pound animal.
Okay, well, that's pretty big.
It's big, but surprisingly small. So
once the fur's off it.
Yeah, because the hide on those things is crazy. Like, it's a thick hide, and it has 3-foot long hair.
Yeah.
And after you pull the hide and everything off of it, it's like, it looks like a caribou.
Right.
And it's like, where did it all go?
Yeah, where did it all go?
So they're not massive. So we head back, and we have a bunch of difficulty and getting stuck in some water and various other difficulties. And we get back to the tent after dark. Not a big deal.
Stuck in water? Did you break through ice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Must have been like shallow water though.
Yeah, different creeks.
Gotcha.
Overflow everywhere, and just nothing bad.
Gotcha.
And my buddy guts his muskox. The plan was we're gonna kill muskox, gut them by camp, and there's a pretty insane fox population out there.
Oh.
So just gut them right by camp. The fox will come into the gut pile, and every time we get up to piss at night, we'll shine a light over towards the gut pile. If we see light, or if we see eyes, we'll kill fox. And there's Arctic fox out there. And we don't want to get Arctic fox.
Oh, cool. Red foxes out there, or
both.
Just Arctic? They are both?
Yep.
Okay.
We never saw any Arctic fox. But we did wind up getting 3 or 4 red foxes.
Neat.
Yeah, they were definitely around.
Okay. You shooting with the same thing you were shooting muskox with?
No. So I brought a .22 pistol. My buddy brought a .223 he bought just for this.
Okay.
And I think my dad had a .22 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one that's brought 2 guns on a hunting trip?
No. Wasn't really necessary, but...
Yeah, I don't think it usually is, but...
Yeah. I don't know. Foxes.
Yeah, foxes are cool. You guys keep the
I
hides?
also wanted to shoot an Alaskan hare.
Alaskan hare, like the white ones?
Well, they're all white. We have 2 hares up here. We have snowshoes like we have around here. And then on the West Coast, there's Alaskan hares.
Okay.
which are the biggest bunnies in the world.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, I want to shoot one of those.
Yeah, that'd be
like,
awesome. Never saw one, though.
Nope. We never saw
bummer.
So, got that done. Went to bed, had a celebratory whiskey.
Of course.
Yep.
So warm Muskox down.
Yeah. So next day it's my turn to hunt in the order. So my buddy's gonna stay back and cut up his muskox, which was fine with me. He was kind of a pain in the ass. How fast he was going and everything. Me and my dad aren't fast snow machine riders, and those tundras are very tippy. So
Gotcha.
he was going a lot faster than us.
Was he just anxious to get out there and kill something? That's why, or just usually?
Well, in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. Me and my dad head west and go out towards the ocean, get west of town. And the hills out there were significantly more rugged and just really beautiful area.
Yeah.
You know, the ocean over here, the Bering Sea, you know, and cool hills. I think it was late February, early March, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So warm, losing snow, but
Day's getting longer too by then.
yeah, plenty of daylight to play with. So we get out there in this big valley, see muskox down below. Cool. We start making our way down there and get a half mile from them. Cool. Let's stalk up to them. I think those are a half dozen bulls. You shoot any one of them. Cool. And we're belly crawling. It's pretty flat. Belly crawling through, just staying out of sight. A lot of shit getting up close to them. I shoot peep sights, so I don't shoot far. I wanted to get like 100 yards from it. And we get up to, I don't know, a quarter mile away, and my dad's like, the biologist in Bethel said if you stand up and walk straight towards them, they're herd animals, so a lot of times they'll just stay there. Like, let's try that.
I'd heard that. I was wondering how true it was, though.
Yep, and that might be true, but it wasn't that time.
Not for those muskox.
Not for those. So we stood up, walked directly towards them, and they walked away.
Gotcha. All
right. Well, we should have stuck to the original plan and just kept crawling.
That's funny. I'd heard that, though. Like, if you just walk right up to them, they do, like, the circle thing and everything. So, I don't know. I was wondering how true that actually was.
It might be true, but it wasn't
Not for
that
that
time. So, well, shit. So we got back to the machines. We're trying to figure out how to circle in front of them. We wind up popping up on this ridge above the valley, and they're kind of headed towards the ridge. So I'm like, all right, we kind of dropped down into this saddle. It looked like they were going to walk up through, and snuck down and got sat down, and sure as shit, they did walk up right through that saddle, popped up 50 yards from us, and
Perfect.
They were walking pretty quick, and I shot and missed.
Oh.
Just absolutely no excuse, I missed.
No excuse, not windy, nothing.
Nope, nothing. And also from driving through the overflow and shit, my rifle was half frozen, which we kind of diagnosed 5 minutes before this encounter of trying to hold a lighter under the bolt and making it move.
So the bolt wasn't working right?
Yeah, it wouldn't shoot. Oh, that's interesting. So we kind of get it dry firing. Okay, that seems to work, but the catch doesn't work. So when you go to pull the bolt back, there's no stop. It just bolt
goes all the
comes
way
out,
through.
and you shake the bolt, the round or the case off, and put it back in. Okay. this works. So they spooked and hopped up on the ridge we were on. So we followed them on snow machines, and I got like 100 yards from them and hopped off the machine and ran, jumped behind some rocks, and about 50 yards away, shot again. Got up to where they were, and I don't think there's any blood or anything. Their hair soaks up most of the blood. Well, then I was feeling pretty shitty about myself.
Yeah.
Missing twice. And later found it 100 yards away.
So the second shot connected.
Yeah.
Did get him.
Yep.
So do they flinch when they're hit? Like we were talking, I think the other day, moose and versus caribou when they're hit. Like whether you can tell or not.
I didn't notice.
Didn't notice that they did.
No, there was 6 of them moving together. I didn't even like try and pick the biggest. I just picked one that was clear of the others.
Yeah, went for it.
And yeah, the whole group just kept moving together.
Okay.
So I didn't notice.
Right.
Pick him up, buzz him back to camp. Another good day. Next day, and decided to drive him back on the sea ice through the overflow and stuff. So when I finally thought, oh shit, I should take a picture with this animal.
Right.
He was like caked in ice. Like,
after the fact, don't take good. Yeah.
Whatever.
That's something Sarah's like trying to tell me. She's like, you need to actually learn to take good trophy pictures. Cause like with my bear, like we took pictures, but not like what you normally want to see. Like, oh, this summarizes everything. So I don't know, trying to get better at that. So same thing with you though, they're covered in ice and froze up and everything.
Yeah, just get excited about other stuff going on.
Yeah, and in a hurry to like get to the next stage and everything.
Yep. So the next day it was my dad's turn, and this was like our last day of hunting. Like this was it.
Make it or break it.
All right, we really don't want him to get screwed over and not get one. After I shot those 5 other bulls or however many, kept going down the ridge, which went into town. So we went out that way, and at some point we I can't remember. I guess my dad did shoot after I did.
Same day.
Yeah, and he wasn't sure if he hit. We were pretty sure not.
Okay.
So like we crept up to this group of bulls, and they were just standing there 30 yards from us.
Like you were in plain sight of them, or
no, we were behind
creeping
a
up to them?
rock, but like I'm sure they knew we were there.
Gotcha.
And we watched them for half an hour, and I think he decided not to shoot one because he wasn't 100% sure he had missed.
So gotcha.
He's like, all right, let's check back here tomorrow and just make sure.
Okay.
So the next day we went out again, and went west again. This time we went like to the edge. So we were like
right up to the ocean.
Yeah, right on the ridge, on the bluffs.
On the bluffs, they said to be careful about.
Yeah, above the Bering Sea, and look down in the ocean, and through the broken up ice, you see dudes in a boat. It's like, what are they doing? Whoa. Oh, they're seal hunting.
Oh, no way.
How cool is this?
That's cool. Oh, man.
Same thing, like hundreds, thousands of ptarmigan everywhere. And it's like, oh man, this is such a pretty place.
Yeah.
And for his, we ran into a couple big herds of like 50 animals, maybe more.
Okay.
Yeah. And we chased them for a ways. Not really chased them.
Mm-hmm.
Just got up to them. And Yeah, pretty simple on that. We would get up on a ridge and they'd be walking away, so we can get off the machines and walk up above where we could get up to them. And they were too far away, so back to the machines.
Okay.
Keep following them. Eventually got up to one. Me and him walked up pretty steep area. Got up above them 30 yards away, and he shot his and didn't see it drop. And we searched for a while and then finally found it. Same thing, not a drop of blood.
Really? Just the hair just absorbs all of it.
Yep.
So nothing to follow.
Double lung shot with a 44 Magnum rifle.
Okay. Huh.
Just no trace. So just kind of leaves you wondering, like,
You kind of have to hope you can watch it long enough to
What's that?
You kind of have to just hope you can watch it long enough afterwards to
But
maybe
you shoot
tell.
and the whole herd starts to move. So it's like, how do you keep an eye on one?
Gotcha. Right. Was he kind of picky about what he wanted in a bull, or just didn't matter so much?
He wanted a big old bull.
Yeah.
All three of us got old bulls, and they're horned animals, so like being horns and not antlers, like their horns age. So as they get old, you see all the wear.
Right.
Like, just years. Stuff breaks. So all three of us got old animals, which was cool. So got his picture with his muskox and the Bering Sea behind him, and if you zoom in, like seal hunters
You
in
can
the
still
picture
see him
with
in the
him.
picture? Oh, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's cool.
Yeah.
So we tagged out on the last day.
Yep. So got back to camp the next day. We quartered everything out, cleaned up camp, and then we're headed back to Bethel, 140 miles. And at that point, like, there wasn't much snow. Most of the snow had melted, wind eaten.
Yeah, you said it rained a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not good for snow machine riding.
Nope. Normal West Coast weather, just windy, warmer than the interior, and snow comes and goes. So that was a pretty hellish trip, just glare ice everywhere. So I mentioned my buddy had a terrible machine.
Yeah.
That thing would overheat idling.
I was wondering,
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. Write Skidoo and tell them never do that again.
He had a Rotax engine in his.
I don't know.
E-Tech, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had the 800 of that in mind, but it would do the same thing. Like, if it wouldn't take much for it to overheat. I could be going on snow, it just wasn't deep enough, and it would just overheat.
So dumb.
Yeah, I know. It was such a pain.
Build a real cooling system.
I know. Like, if you ran deep enough powder, it's fine.
Yeah.
But even 1408 road,
Yeah.
it gets packed a little bit. So I would always try to favor one side or the other, and then eventually just overheats anyway.
So even with scratchers and everything, his machine was constantly overheating. So we'd run for half a mile and try and make it across the glare ice to another snow patch. If we couldn't, we'd stop there on the glare ice and wait for it to cool down. And so that was just a long frickin' day, and we took an even more indirect path, trying to hug the edges of ponds where there was some snow. It was just a long, gnarly day. And tundras are tippy, so I dumped my machine I don't know how many times. So behind my machine, I had the sled with the meat, and the hides. So that was probably 800 pounds of meat and hides.
So all 3 muskox were just being pulled by your machine.
Yeah.
The others didn't have a sled behind them.
They had sleds with gear and other stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I had a heavy sled, and the thing was a frickin' wrecking ball. So you start moving on glare ice, and it's going to start swinging back and forth.
Right.
And eventually, like, you can try and correct if you bump the speed, that straightens it out a little bit, but also makes it overcorrect and swing more. Eventually, it's going to come around and hit you and roll you. And this just happened again and again and again, this wrecking ball and glare ice.
Because you're on ice, not snow.
Yeah, so it was just an act of trying to figure out how to not get hurt while this continually...
And repeatedly frustrated.
Yep. And when it does roll you off, you're on glare ice, which hurts.
Yeah, that doesn't. You can't land very well on ice.
So we were all having a tough time. Darkness came. We were still 50 miles from Bethel, 60 miles, 40 miles, I don't know. A long ways from Bethel. And following my buddy with his GPS, and he's still running way ahead of us because it's on snow. So we were coming down this creek, and he's off a quarter mile ahead of us. My dad's off 200 yards ahead of me. We come down the creek, decide it's the wrong way and have to go the other way. So those two go down the creek, and I turn around and I'm following their tracks. And then suddenly my machine starts sinking, and I see water come in at my right knee. I'm like, what is this? So I jump off the right side of my machine and land on the ice and see my machine go down. Oh, that ain't good. Got a wet boot. Mostly I stayed dry.
Yeah.
Banged up my knee a little bit when I hit the ice, but nothing bad.
Yeah.
And just standing there on the ice, and everything I got
sinking
down.
Oh.
It went down decently quick. And it was the top of the windshield was just barely exposed. So it was
like pretty much submerged.
It was down there, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I stood up on the ice. I had a headlamp in my pocket, and I start waving it and yelling help, which...
But they're like a couple hundred yards ahead of you.
Yeah.
At the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've only yelled help a couple times in my life, and anytime you actually yell help, like you just sound like a little kid.
Yeah, and it's like, I should have practiced this.
Help! Nothing I can do.
Right.
Like I have the clothes I'm wearing and a headlamp.
And a lot of muskox meat.
Oh, that went under too.
Yeah, that when the meat was underwater.
Yeah. Well, actually, the sled floated for a long while, but it was in the water. So I'm like, well, I should get off this creek. So I walk away from my machine and go up around it. And as I get back to shore, I break through a little bit again. So my dad comes back, and he's like, oh, fuck. So he starts yelling to the other guy, like, you need to come back here.
Like radio to him, or how would you
yelling to him?
Oh, he was close enough
he's
to
like,
yell.
oh, but I kind of broke through up here. I don't know if I could turn around. He's like, you need to stay off the creek and get back here. You have to come back around here. And they're fussing back and forth. Finally, he makes it back. So you got all three of us there looking at this hole in the creek. I say, all right, I'm going to have to go in there to hook up a winch cable. My dad had gotten a winch to rig up on his machine.
Oh, perfect.
For this expedition. Came in handy.
Yeah.
And he also had brought a pop-up blind and a buddy heater, just in case emergency, in case we need a quick warm-up shelter. And
perfect.
Fortunately, he brought all that shit. And fortunately, his machine didn't go through.
Yeah.
So all of that was on dry land. And so I said, all right, I'm going to have to go in there and hook up this cable. And the other two guys agreed with me and very much did not volunteer to do it.
They thought you needed to do
They're
it.
like, yep,
that's on you.
You absolutely,
Yep,
that's going to suck. You absolutely do need to do that.
definitely you.
At that point, it was like 10 above.
Yeah.
So
You have a change of boots or anything, or just the one pair?
just my bunny boots.
Bunny boots. You can dry those off pretty good though. Yeah.
So the machine's underwater. My buddy and my dad are back on the shore with me, and we pop up the pop-up blind and put the buddy heater on it, turn it on. I strip down to my underwear and keep my bunny boots on.
Oh, that's gonna be cold.
It was cold.
Yeah, no matter what, that's
That
cold.
was cold. Yeah, you can swim in bunny boots. You dump the water out and they're still good and they still keep you warm. So
Okay.
I
Not bad.
elected to keep my boots on.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would have felt the same way.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think I stayed in my underwear. Maybe I just ran out naked. I don't remember.
Is it shallow enough you could touch the bottom though? Or are you having to kind of tread?
It was up to the top of the windshield on the machine.
Okay.
So it was deep enough I had to go all the way under.
Yeah.
Which I didn't look forward to. So I
Yeah.
walked around the machine, felt the ice. It was like 4 inches thick, 3 inches thick on the right side of the machine. And by then it had opened up all around the machine. So you could see like where the warm spot was forming a channel, and thin ice going to the bank from there. Okay, so I grabbed the winch cable, walked out around it, and came up on the right side of the machine. They're on the shore on the left side of the machine. And I sat down on the edge of the ice, put my boots in, and kind of jumped on the front bumper of the machine and walked around to the edge and put my foot down on the ski and stood on the ski. And I kind of stepped off the ski a little bit and felt myself sinking down in the mud. I'm like, all right, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I stepped back on the ski, and like cold water just knocks the air out of you.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3, go. And I went under and tried to hook the cable on the front left ski, and I missed. So
Come up and do it again.
came back up, and I about cried that I have to go down again. It hurt. Like, okay. And went underneath again. That time got it through the ski and hooked on itself. And climbed up on the seat and back up on the ice. And I yelled back to them, "You're hooked." And I ran and sat in the pop-up blind
Yeah.
with the heater and got dried off and sat in there smoking cigarettes naked for a while. Just trying to get dry and warmed up. And they went to work trying to winch it. They had to hook both of their machines together and both of them sit on their machines
Yeah, I was wondering on that.
to get, because it was a lot to pull.
Yeah.
And so I was inside the pop-up line while they were working, and it took them half an hour. It was
Yikes.
a lot of screwing around, and then they got up to the bank, and it was frozen at the edge, so the skis wouldn't pop out. All right, well, there's an axe on my machine. I think they crawled onto my machine and grabbed the axe and
Broke the ice.
had to chop the ice, and just it was a lot of screwing around. Finally got it up and out. The machine was running when it went down, so it drank water.
Gotcha. Did you shut it off? Did it just die?
Nope, it just went down. So while I was getting warmed up, my dad was screwing with my machine. He pulled the spark plugs, but where they were, he couldn't get them out.
Oh.
So he got them loose. And tried to crank, and he cranked initially and then stopped because it was waterlogged. He got them loose, and by that point, the starter wouldn't crank at all. Like,
oh, man.
Shit was just freezing. It was.
Was it a pull start or
no
push button? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was about 0 at that
Okay,
point.
yeah. So all that water is just going to freeze.
Yeah. Cylinders were frozen. Everything was frozen. Starter was frozen. So that machine was then defunct, and there we were.
Yeah.
The meat was probably still pristine because, it was frozen before. Right. It went into cold water and came out and refroze.
Yeah.
Like, we
meat's probably fine.
kind of took each quarter out and pulled it apart so it froze in its own block of ice, not all together.
Smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they came into the pop-up blind, which is not big, probably 6 foot by 6 foot. They both sat on buckets or a cooler or something, and I laid on the snow. I had all my bibs and stuff back on, but I had like 2 square foot or 2 foot by 2 foot little square was my area in the tent, and they were both sitting on their bucket.
So you're just like curled up on a little corner. Yeah.
It was already like midnight at that point.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Like, all right, we're not dealing with this tonight. So we all just slept in the pop-up. Like,
that sounds really miserable.
Yeah,
sounds
sucked.
pretty bad.
It sucked. Like, we're still 50 miles to Bethel.
Yeah, you're out in the middle of nowhere.
6 hours away from daylight. So
yeah.
It's like, it's not worth setting up a tent.
Yeah, it's like 0 degrees.
Let's just sit here and embrace the suck until the daylight comes out.
My goodness.
So we did.
Did you even sleep?
We all dozed
Kinda
in and
nodded
out.
off. Yeah.
Like the way you half sleep when you're cold and uncomfortable. And
yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, that sucked. So next morning we abandoned my machine and sled in place. I hop on with my dad and we make it up into Bethel. Same bullshit the day before of not enough snow, so stopping, starting, glare ice and general shitty terrain. Made it into Bethel and got an Airbnb, which took a while. I feel like most were booked. My buddy's wife was on the outside, so he in-reached to her and she was setting stuff up.
Okay. Oh, nice.
In town.
Nice.
Finally got an Airbnb. Got cleaned up, warmed up, ate food, went to a bar. Which Bethel only has 2 places that sell beer.
Okay.
Yep. Both of them are restaurants. So.
Okay.
Both of them are where we would go every night.
Right.
In the town of Bethel, you take a cab everywhere.
Really?
Yep. So each cab ride was like $15 for the 3 of us to go across town. Goodness. $15 to come back.
So $30 a day and travel.
Yep. And beer there was about $10 a beer. So
it's like adds up quick.
Yeah.
Between the 3 of you.
Staying in Bethel got to be expensive.
Yeah. Doesn't count food.
Yeah. So we had our night in Bethel, got warmed up, and then following day, me and my buddy went back to get my machine. My dad had one of the 8-foot slick sleds. We got that with the intent that it could tow a machine in it.
Okay.
So me and my buddy went out there, and he took the meat sled, and we managed to roll my machine up onto that thing. and I towed that back. And
Like upside down on it?
no, right side up.
Right side up.
The skis were outside of it.
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah.
The track was inside of it. It actually fit pretty
Set
good.
quite nicely. Okay.
Yeah. And then same thing going through the glare ice with that.
Yeah.
So there was a couple times that it's a wrecking ball behind me. You see it coming around, and it's like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad. And like normally you try and make it to the patch of snow
Right.
before it comes all the way around and hits you and rolls you. A couple times, like it hit the patch of snow sideways, so that my machine being towed would roll, and then that would drag me over and roll me too. And it's like, man, this really sucks.
So you had you and your buddy on the machine towing the sled with your machine in it?
No, he had his machine pulling
yeah, right,
the meat
of course. So
sled.
you probably, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And he had the meat, right?
Yep. So 50 miles back to Bethel of that, and we were finally in Bethel with all the meat.
Everything
and
recovered.
machines.
My goodness.
Yes, and we towed my machine to Everett and all our gear and shit to Everett. Got that back in there. Wound up spending, because my machine went through just how it worked out with logistics, and I think there was a weekend or something. We had to spend like another 3 nights in Bethel.
Oh.
3 or 4 nights.
Just like waiting for the plane schedule or something?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think the freight plane schedule. Or maybe it was the passenger plane. I don't know. Whatever reason.
So it sounds like besides possibly falling through ice and dealing with that, it's really like the travel and the weather. The logistics and the weather is like the hardest part of that hunt.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not like maybe not finding the animals.
No,
It's just
the
planning
hunt
for
was
it.
decently easy.
Yeah.
And if we had different machines, it would have been easier, much easier. Tundras are narrow. That's why they're so tippy, which is what you want if you're running a trap line in the interior. So
Right.
you can snake between trees and run snaky little
Makes
trap
sense.
trails.
Yep.
Out there's no trees, so
Right.
I had guys come up to me in town saying, "Oh, you must be from the interior."
They could tell just
I
because
could see these 3 machines. Nobody out here has things
Right.
like these. Like, we have wide, comfortable machines.
yeah, there's something that makes sense for out there. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So, talking with the biologist from Bethel, they have expeditions and stuff, wide machines, and they run 3 sets of scratchers. Like, they're
Oh man,
studded tracks and everything. Like, they're
because the ice is just they
Yeah,
do
they're
it all
made-
the time.
yeah,
Okay.
they run ice.
Gotcha. Okay.
In the interior, we run snow
Right. Yeah. So
and trees.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know. That's like, it seems like some of the worst weather where like you don't know if you're dealing with rain or snow or ice, and it could be like some combination of the 3 on a given day. Whereas like here in the interior, it is snow right now. It's like it's going to be snow for months. You don't really have ice.
It's really stable.
Right. Unless you go looking for it, it's not really ice.
Yeah.
And it's not going to rain, that's for sure. Not for a while.
Yeah.
So, dang.
Talking with a guy out there, he's like, "Oh, you're from the interior? Like,
Yeah.
it's cold in there."
Yeah.
I'm like, we're standing outside smoking, and it's blowing like 30. Like, I'm not the tough one in this conversation.
I'm not outdoing you on
It's
this.
freaking miserable out here.
Yeah, the wind. I hate the wind. Like, I'd rather it be 30 below.
Yeah.
And still, it's not terrible if you're dressed for it.
Yeah.
But like 15 and blowing, like,
Yeah.
that hurts. So I'd prefer the still weather.
It's gnarly out there.
Yeah. That's wild. So all 3 Muskox, everything recovered. Snow machines on the plane.
Yep. Made it to Anchorage. Got delayed another day there. Finally got all our stuff.
You worried about meat spoiling?
Nah.
For sitting for a day there? No, not yet.
I don't know if Everett's had cold storage or just unheated storage.
okay.
But whatever it was, we were good.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Easy. From there, you flew or drove?
From Anchorage?
Yeah.
We drove.
Drove back.
We had
Okay.
a big enclosed trailer with all our machines and everything.
Nice.
Um,
That's about as wrong as you can imagine something going, like going through the ice into the water, then having to go like for a little underwater mission.
yeah.
That's terrible.
It
Yeah, it sounds awful.
wasn't fun.
Yeah.
That was my polar plunge for 2023.
Yeah, the polar plunge for like 10 years. It counts for a while. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know, I'd love to do that hunt sometime. It's just the logistics, having to plan ahead on the logistics.
Yeah. So while we were out there, we saw a handful of moose going out to the coast, on
Okay.
our way out to the coast. And that time of year, like, we were allowed 3 moose each. It's like any one of these we could kill if we wanted more meat. And we didn't want more meat, but it's like, wow, this would be a really easy
pretty easy for
meat
moose.
hunt
I
for
think
moose.
that's Unit 18.
It is.
It is Unit 18 out there. So, yeah, that would be easy for moose out there, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, I think you can shoot like 2 bulls and a cow for residents or something like that.
Maybe
One of
not.
the few spots, if I remember correctly, you can harvest a cow. So, But again, the logistics, the flying and moving everything.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't terribly expensive.
no.
I want to say freight
cargo
costs.
and everything.
My cut of it was probably $4,000
Okay.
for
Round trip and everything.
flying freight.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's about what you'd expect for moving that much material.
That plus my cut of the Airbnbs and the
Oh, yeah.
tickets out there and everything.
The beer and the taxis.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 grand total.
Yeah, right around.
Which, worth it.
Yeah, I think.
It was fun.
And you're going to spend a lot more, I would think, if you're coming as a non-resident for that type of hunt.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I think if you're a non-res, you would have to get a machine to Anchorage, but beyond that, the only difference in cost would be your flight to Anchorage.
Which is probably not that bad.
Yeah. So
we should be about the same then.
yeah.
That's cool. I don't know. There's such a weird animal to me that's like a woolly cow.
Yeah.
You know, like we used to have woolly rhinos and woolly elephants. And this is like something that's not extinct, a woolly cow.
Yeah.
But they're oddly more related to goats than cows or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Family.
Yeah. So, but they look like a cow to me.
The makeup of them was weird. So like on your caribou, you know, you have all your lean meat
Yeah.
and then your layer of fat on the outside and then your hide.
Right.
They had like marbled meat, like
It's
beef.
like, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. And then not really a fat layer. And then the hide was thick, and they had the crazy hair with the kiviot.
Right, the kiviot. So they rely on that
World's
for
best insulator or something. Like they're just a weird construction how they keep warm.
But they're relying fully on that hair, which is
and they're fully adapt to being the cold.
all
Like
the
they're
time, which is crazy.
coastal cold animals.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, cool critter. Really strange. I don't know. I haven't spent any time around them. Only ones I've seen is in that farm down in Palmer. Mm-hmm. So do you keep your whole hide? Have the whole thing tanned, or?
Yep, I had the hide tanned
Nice.
and ran into a local guy that was getting beetles and getting into European mounts. I'm like, hey, I got a head for you.
Right.
So he's like, okay. He took it, and a couple years later gave it back to me, and so I
Done
have
deal.
that. My buddy and my dad wanted shoulder mounts, so they got that.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do.
And then both of them got the back half of the hide tanned. Because the kiviot on an animal is worth a lot of money. I
Right.
think if you I think a hide's worth like $2,000.
Because of the caveat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you were telling me about that. They use it for like really expensive, nice hats, and because the thermal value is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wool.
Right. Yeah, so you don't want to just throw half of it away.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as the trophy goes, I think you went the more economical route. I think I'd probably be on board with your dad, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like shoulder mounts.
Don't like them? Just the space they take up?
Yeah. For me, the hide was the trophy to me. So that's all I wanted. If I didn't meet that local guy doing European mounts, I would have thrown it in the yard. And
with all the others.
Yeah. With the moose antlers and everything.
Right.
Showing it off that way.
Yep. Yeah, it seems to be the thing. People just stack them around the yard and let them age on top of sheds and whatnot. But yeah, so the meat, I did try.
Best meat I ever had.
Yeah, I tried it one time. I thought it was quite nice. It was a couple of years ago. I don't remember there being really a gamey flavor to it. I thought it was quite good.
No, I don't really know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Unique flavor, and I love it.
Yeah.
Talking with the locals out there, a lot of them love it a lot more than moose. Some of the women didn't really like the strong taste of it.
Oh, okay.
Most of the locals out there want cows.
Really? Okay.
Because it's better meat, I guess.
Gotcha.
Less of a strong, musky flavor.
It's been long enough, and even at the time, I only tried like a few pieces, so I don't remember exactly what the flavor profile was. But I generally consider like moose to be a little tamer than caribou. Yeah. As far as the flavor goes, I don't mind caribou though. So,
my buddy that tried some of the muskox, he said it was mostly like sheep to him.
Okay.
Which I've never had dull sheep meat, so I don't have that comparison, but he said that was his closest comparison.
Yeah, I've heard over and over again Doll sheep is the best, but I've also heard the theory that it's probably the best because you work the hardest to get it, so you just appreciate it more. But I don't know. I don't honestly know. I think back in the day when they were market hunting and building the road and everything, Doll sheep was what they wanted the most of.
Yeah,
so,
it was, everybody preferred it.
Yeah, everyone wanted Doll sheep. So, but I haven't tried that one. Maybe next year. Thanks for listening to the Arctic Archives. If you enjoyed this episode, a rating or review helps the show reach more people. And if you have a story of your own you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. You can reach me by emailing contact@arcticarchivespodcast.com. Until next time.